Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Ben Olson, that's Nathan Fox. We're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We have an email here from Jay. The topic is good performance untimed, bad performance timed. Eric shares a quick background here. Apparently Jay has a 158 diagnostic. Hopefully that's timed. 6 months of little progress with other prep companies or another prep company, and did many untimed sections with high accuracy, -0 on games, -1 to 3 on reading comp, and -0 to 4 on logical reasoning.
Okay, after listening to your podcast for the last 1.5 months, I recently reverted back to taking timed sections. My accuracy drops because I rush to finish, or I cannot finish the sections. I might finish 3 games with perfect accuracy, finish 3 passages with 5 wrong, or get up to 8 to 9 wrong on LR, including questions I didn't get to. I want to stop halfway through this email and tell Jay that they have already diagnosed their problem. You said it in the beginning of this sentence. My accuracy drops because I rush to finish. Then you go on to say, or cannot finish. I get it that if you can't finish, you're going to miss some questions at the end. You're going to miss 80% of the questions that you guess on. But rushing to finish is always going to crush your score. That's your problem, is that I think you might misunderstand, Jay, what you're supposed to be doing when you do timed sections. You need to ignore the clock. The first thing that you do when you start a timed section is you turn off the clock. So the timer's in the background, and at some point you're going to get a 5-minute warning, and you're going to do your best in the remaining 5 minutes to just answer 1 or 2 more questions correctly. But if you're doing the timed section correctly, you're going to be like, okay, well, yeah, I did 17 questions. I got 17 right. I randomly guessed on 18 through 25. I got 1 or 2 of those right. I ended up with 19 points in the section, even though I only attempted 17 questions. That's doing timed sections correctly. If you keep doing that, you'll eventually get faster. But if you try to rush when you do your timed sections, you're working at cross purposes. Okay, anyway, Jay continues. I'm not happy with my timed performance, but I think my problem is I need to focus on solving each question and the speed will come.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
That's it. So that's the challenge then for Jay, is that when you do your timed sections, you need to remember, I am practicing ignoring the clock. That's why
you gotta
we're
reset
doing
your framework. Your framework right now, your mindset or your vantage point is,
ready, set, go.
Ready, set, go. But also, he always finished his sections when he did them untimed, right? So
Right.
Jay is thinking, okay, that's where I got to get to, and I'm not
now
quite
I have
there
to do
yet.
that exact same amount of work in 35 minutes.
Yep. You weren't anywhere close to that, Jay. So just reset what your soft internal, I hate to say target, but expectation maybe of what's going to happen, right? Like, it's okay to expect to only get to 15 questions. And then when you get to 16 and you get them all right, that's a win. That's not a loss. He's looking at what he hasn't done as opposed to resetting the scale and saying, okay, actually, all I can probably really do at this point is 12 or 15 or something like that. And then when you do more than that, that's a win. That's where you want to get.
Yeah. Jay continues. I don't think I have any major understanding deficiencies, given I can solve most of the questions with essentially unlimited time. I agree. Although you do have some understanding deficiencies, right? You don't have to miss any questions on LR. You don't have to miss any questions on RC. With unlimited time, you should be able to solve those questions. So you do have some understanding deficiencies. I would also point out that if you're missing questions ever, it means that you're sometimes getting questions right with a little bit of luck. So that 0 to -4 on LR, if you sometimes miss 4, then yeah, there's like 3 or 4 other questions that you might have gotten a little bit lucky on. So I don't think your understanding is quite as good as you think it is. It's good, don't get me wrong, but it's not truly stellar. So you need to be thoroughly reviewing those mistakes. If you were studying in the LSAT Demon, you could watch a video about that question. You could read a written explanation about that question. You could use the ask button on that question if you're still confused, and make sure that you're feeling that click of understanding where you go, oh, I see. Okay, I totally get it now. This answer's right because of these reasons. These other answers are garbage because I can't believe I ever thought about those answers. They're totally wrong. Once you really feel that, then that's, going to pay dividends on future tests. So make sure you're thoroughly reviewing all the mistakes that you do make. Jay continues. Do you guys see any other issues that I may be overlooking? I would hate to continue to do timed sections and focus on solving the question without addressing some other issue I'm overlooking. I'm aiming for 175 plus given my diagnostic. Yeah, which with 158 diagnostic, sure. 20 points of improvement gets you into the high 170s. That's amazing. And I think you can get there. And I have an UGPA of 3.96, that's awesome. And yeah, I mean, that makes it more that you should shoot for a 170 something, that you have such good grades. Because with those grades and the right LSAT, you could go to Harvard.
Yeah.
I've got a free account with the Demon. Tell me if I should sign up for live or something, or just to keep working timed sections and reviewing. Thanks for all you do, Jay. You think Jay should sign up for live?
Possibly. That could help Jay a lot, even if it was just 1 month, and then go down to, you have a free account. I would get at least basic so you can have access to explanations for all these tests you're doing and work you're putting in. I want to say something which you've already addressed, but just to hit it home for Jay. Jay says, I would hate to continue to do time sections and focus on solving the question without addressing some other issue I'm overlooking. That issue is you think you understand more than you do.
Yeah, and that's a very common problem with our students.
Yeah.
It pops up so often, doesn't it, in class where people, they have to they raise their hand to ask a question, and then their question starts with well, I understand what I understand that, they have to tell you the things that they think they understand first.
Mm-hmm.
And I always just kind of want to peel that away. Do you though? Are you sure really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get in there. I want people to acknowledge that they don't actually understand. You're confused. Say you're confused. It's okay to say you're confused.
Well, and there's a worse variant of that. And that's where people, they check out a little bit because they got the answer right. And you're having a discussion with somebody else. And then you ask another person hey, what do you think about that? And they're like, well, that's not why I chose the answer, but I got it right.
Yeah.
So I'm not interested in this conversation. It's
totally.
What? Okay, so now you got it right. So now you're the authority of this question. You want to take over the class here and just to walk us through what you thought? I'm trying to help them see what gaps are in their knowledge, and you often don't see until you try to explain something. Because once you start explaining it, you're like, well, and then and that's where the misunderstanding gets revealed. Yeah,
Jay, I agree that. I'm not sure live is the right solution. Live is our highest level subscription, and live gives you access to our live classes. So if you want to come to my class, you want to come to Ben's class, you want to come to dozens of classes throughout the week, have a whole slate of classes to choose from. That's what live is. And yeah, it's awesome. And for 1 month, I am pretty sure we will blow your mind, Jay. We will blow your mind that if you do 1 month of live, I think our teachers will help you to, get kind of launch from a 158 on your way up into the 170s. But even if you don't want to come to our live classes or watch recordings of those live classes, the other 2 paid Demon accounts, basic and premium, they just give you access to varying levels of our explanations and our lessons and things. And I do think that, as Ben said, at least a basic account would be good for you, Jay, because when you're doing timed sections or untimed sections, what's really important is that you do the proper review. And if right now you're trying to review these questions on your own, half the time you think you understand it, but you don't you're not really seeing the actual thing that would make it easy. Because if you were, you would have been making a lot more progress. So I would really encourage you your free account is giving you access to some of our explanations. Hopefully those explanations are leading you to some clicks. If you want more of those clicks, then you should probably sign up for basic or premium. And if you want to come to live classes, you should sign up for live.
Thanks
Anything
for writing
more
in,
for
Jay.
Yeah.
No, thanks. Good luck and keep us posted. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.